What's happening, guys? We are back here on Action Industries with another down and dirty review, this time of a film coming out called Judy, starring Renée Zellweger, directed by Rupert Gould. This is a biopic of Judy Garland, most famous for The Wizard of Oz, obviously, when she was very young. Judy Garland died in her late 40s, and this movie chronicles just kind of the last stage of her career. A bit of a comeback. She does some live stage shows in London, and it's just kind of the latter phase of her career, where it really shows her to be an incredibly talented artist who struggled a little bit with the spotlight of fame at such a young age. You get a little bit of a picture into some of the stuff that happened to her as she was growing up in the industry, some of sort of the horrible things, the pressures put on her to be young and thin and pretty. Beautiful voice and an absolutely stellar performance by Renée Zellweger. I mean, she knocks it out of the park on this one, and if she wins Best Actress this year at the Oscars, I won't be surprised. This totally feels like this could be a Best Actress performance. She's that good. Now, I always loved Renée. I always loved Renée Zellweger back in the day when she kind of broke onto the scene. You know, she got very famous after Jerry Maguire in '96, and she had a run there for about 10 years where she was in a lot of different stuff. You know, she won her Oscar for Cold Mountain, a 2003 film. You know, she's in a bunch of other stuff kind of around that time. She's in Chicago in '02. She's in some rom-coms like Down with Love, and honestly, she's in a lot of movies that a lot of people really, really like. She was absolutely an A-lister there in the 2000s, and then sometime right around the end of the 2000s, as we kind of entered 2010, the parts started to kind of dry up, as they often do for actresses as they approach 40. It's just kind of a thing Hollywood does. They don't really like to cast you so much anymore, so you're sort of forced to go into character work or become an action star like Charlize Theron. But unfortunately for Renée Zellweger's career, that kind of didn't really happen, and the parts started drying up around the time she was in Appaloosa. In 2010, she took 6 years off from acting. She didn't show up again until Bridget Jones's Baby in 2016, and now she's done a few films in the last few years, a television show, and now this masterpiece performance at age 50, which is unbelievable. She is unbelievable. I had heard she had had some work done. I didn't really look into it. She's playing another character with a lot of makeup on, so it was hard for me to sort of pinpoint what she looked like, but she looked fantastic. The performance was really amazing, and Rupert Gould did a great job directing. Now, I didn't think this movie was outstanding. I thought this movie was very, very good. Unfortunately, because it's a little bit more of a... It's not a by-the-numbers biopic like a rise and fall story, because it's about a very particular part of her career, but it is still a little bit of that just like, you know, step by step by step, month by month. It doesn't feel like you're watching an arc as much as you're just sort of watching a slice of life, and it kind of works, but there are parts that it feels slow. The performances on the whole are great. Michael Gambon's in there, he's really good. Finn Wittrock is in there, he's really good. Overall, I would give this movie a pretty good review, and I definitely recommend you see it, especially if you like Renée Zellweger, or if you're fascinated by like sort of more classic Hollywood. You know, this is sort of a late 60s kind of thing. You're seeing the story take place. But really, overall, guys, it's a knockout performance by Zellweger. It's hats off to her, and she should be very, very proud of this one. I will continue to talk about this one as the year goes on, and if we all talk about it, maybe it'll get outside of kind of the limited release that I think it's probably going to get, but she right now would be my front runner to win the Oscar for Best Actress. So check out Judy, check it out in theaters this weekend or next, and thanks for watching another review here on Action Industries. I am Ben Bateman. Stay tuned for more reviews up and coming. Have a good one, guys. We'll see you next time.